What if I told you this place holds centuries of Indian art, not just as a memories, but as living stories? Every wall here has a moment. This is DAG, not just a gallery, but a place where Indian art history still speaks. Recently, I visited the face to face exhibition by DAG at the Taj Palace in Mumbai. Also, it was my first time going into the Taj Palace, so it was quite a good experience. Many of you must have missed it. So, here I am with a detailed video about my visit. I'll clear one thing in the start itself, that this video might be lengthy and boring for some, but people like me who truly adore art will like every inch of it. So let's start with the exhibition's concept. Face to face exhibition, a portrait of a city. The thing I've understood by this, that face to face exhibition's purpose was to show the transition that Bombay experienced, the city experienced through portraits. Initially, when academic realism was introduced in art education of India, people used to draw royalties, mostly royalties, and many of them were foreign artists. Many Indian artists got trained under Britishers. We have a few Indian artists who learned Western academic realism, but what they emphasized in their learnings was Indian traditions and culture. The people of India. The period of 1885 to 1900 saw a number of Indian artists graduate from JJ trained in academic style. The most prolific among them were M.V. Durandar, Mancharji Pitawala, Pestonji Bomanji, Antonio Xavier Tridande, and a few others. If you want, I'll make a detailed video on artists who studied under Western academic realism. But for now, let's continue our video further. The artwork you see on the screen right now is by Cecil Burns. Cecil Burns' influence on Indian art has been greater than what many artists in the country realize. As art teacher as well as head of Sir J.J. School of Art in Bombay in the early 20th century, he was responsible for the strict adherence to the tenets of British realistic art, a tradition that continues till today. Bombay remained the vanguard of European art practices rooted in naturalism. The next artwork you are seeing on the screen right now is by Abalal Rahman. It's a portrait of a ruler of Kagal, regent of Kolhapur. It's oil on paper pasted on cardboard from 1911. And if you look closely, just look at the size of the artwork. It's 8 inches by 6.2 inches. And when I was looking at it from my eyes in front of me, yeah, it was really small than usual portraits. I don't know what would be the reasons behind such small portraits, but if you look at the details, maybe the artist tried to push beyond his limits to see if he can capture intricate details even in such small scale. The texture on his beard, the perfectly painted lines on his headset. Every stroke you will see in this artwork is with precision and intentional, and we'll barely get to see such work nowadays. Art is not just about scale or hugeness in size every time. The way Abalal Rahman captured every intricate detail in this portrait is a living proof of it. And I personally recommend you guys to always visit exhibitions. Like, saying this photos from and video is not justified for the artwork itself. The experience I had there was way different than what I am telling you guys. And you won't be able to experience this until you are in that room. So next time whenever there's an exhibition in your city, do visit it. The portrait you are seeing right now is the portrait of Bal Gandharva. Bal Gandharva shows a figure of cultural authority built through reputation, performance, and public acclaim. It does not assert rank of title. The pose and bearings are learned rather than innate and carry with it the discipline of the stage. The costume is an intrinsic component revealing identity and lived emotions. Stillness here is the result of performative ritual. And just to the right of it was a portrait of the Rani Sahiba of Bedak state, a portrait of rank and status. The frontal pose, symmetry, and stillness are deliberate. The gaze is steady, direct, and unflinching, with expressions controlled. Notice how jewelry dominates the composition, revealing how adornment was a marker of lineage, wealth, and legitimacy. This princely portrait communicates dynastic continuity and social authority, a woman positioned as a bearer of state identity. The artist of this portrait is unknown for now. The next artist we are going to see was a bridge between Indian tradition and global modernism. There were two works of J.A. Lal Kaka in this exhibition, and they just left me speechless. The brushstrokes, the attentions to detail, the play of light and shadow, everything was personal. It was not just influenced by the British academic style, but also had a sense of his own style. J.A. Lal Kaka was active during a crucial phase of Indian art when artists were trying to define a modern Indian visual language without copying the West blindly. His art was subtle, not loud, and that was his strength. Lal Kaka wasn't known for a dramatic themes or political statements. Instead, his importance lies in quiet observation, everyday moments, figures, interiors, and landscapes. He was a painter who was respected more by artists than by hype. His relevance today slows us down. In an age of overstimulation and fast visuals, Lal Kaka's painting demand patience. They don't shout, they invite you. Dark doesn't just show famous names, it shows foundational voices of Indian modernism. Displaying Lal Kaka's work reinforces his place as someone who helped shape the grammar of Indian modern art, even if history didn't make him loud. Our next artist is M.V. Durandar. In the late 19th and early 20th century, as the revivalist movement took hold of Bengal in response to British academic dominance, Bombay artists were producing work that was highly academic in its rendering and technique, with a focus on indigenous subjects. Mahadev Vishwanath Durandar, M.V. Durandar, was foremost among them, maintaining a fine balance between academic realism and popular commercial art, inspired by Raja Ravi Verma. The artist best known for his illustrative series of subjects like the city of Bombay and its people, woman of India, scenes from Hindu mythology, and the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, was a significant contributor to the early Indian art. His oil on canvas self portrait was displayed in this exhibition. And why I'm telling you to visit an exhibition is for such reasons. Right now, you are seeing from the screen, but when you see from your naked bare eyes, you see every brush stroke that the artist applies and what intensity it is applied. A photo or video of an artwork never justifies its true beauty and essence. The colors, the values, the brushwork you get to see in artworks with your eyes in front of you, your visual library naturally develops. The painting you are seeing right now is a self portrait by S.L. Haldankar, and next to it is also a portrait of Bapurao Sadvelkar. It's also a self portrait of the artist itself. In the Taj Palace Hotel, DAG has two exhibition halls. In one, there were face to face exhibition, and in DAG Gallery 2, there was another exhibition. We got to experience that too. The theme of that exhibition was completely different. It was abstract, landscapes, miniatures, and I think that was my lucky day because I got to see both of these exhibitions. So this was it for today's video. This video was slow and calming, detailed, just like the art we saw. Art requires us to slow down and watch it with patience. So I kept the pace of this video the same as the artworks I saw. If you want more such art videos on exhibition visits, I'll definitely make one. If you like this video or have any feedback, I'd like to know them. Do let me know in the comment section. I'll definitely make more such videos in the future about my exhibition visits so that you can experience it too with me. Obviously, visiting an exhibition is not as same as watching a video, but some of us are not able to. So for them, I'll come up with a video. So that's it for today's video. I hope it changed something in you, or maybe not. I don't know. Let you decide. But you can go back to the artworks and watch them, observe them. And till then, I'll come up with more videos. So like, share, and subscribe, and I'll meet you soon. Stay tuned.